In this course, we use the term playbook to talk about how we organize the different marketing and sales tactics to create your customer journey. So I want to take a few minutes to talk about why we use that language and how you can think about that, whether you're a sports fan or not. So the idea of a playbook is it's really just a fun way to think about how we organize the things we're going to do to win a game. So let's think about American football, which is really where that term comes from. In American football, the whole point is to win the game, to score more touchdowns than the opponent scores. But you do that by organizing different plays, different tactics of how you're going to move the ball down the field and score points to win the game. And so there's only a handful of ways that you can score points in a football game. You can throw the ball into the end zone, or you can run the ball into the end zone. And then there's only a few ways that you can do each of those. You can do it on the left side, or you can do it on the right side. You can run to the outside towards the sidelines, or you can run down the middle. And there's just a few zones that you can do things. So when we start categorizing the way that we're going to try to move the ball down the field to score touchdowns, it gives us a sense of clarity, and it gives us options on what the best possible way to do what we're trying to do in the game, or in this case in our business, with a lot of confidence. So we know, hey, there's an opportunity on the left side. We can run the play that attacks that weakness or that opportunity and have a better chance of scoring down the field. So let's think about that in the playbook in this lifecycle marketing context. When we organize this set of tactics for marketing, sales, or customer fulfillment, we know that the play, the tactic, it has a job to do. And so we want to think about every play that we have. It's got a very specific job, and it's to get, of course, those leads, prospects, and customers to do the next step to get to the next stage in lifecycle marketing. So when you're organizing your plays, or when you're deciding to add a new play to your playbook, you can be really clear on what that job of that play is. And when you're clear on what that job is, you don't get confused, you don't waste effort in how you design it. And the third thing is you get clear on how to measure if it's being effective. If the goal is to get someone to opt in and become a lead in your database and inside your CRM, well, then you know that the job of that play is to get someone to know what they need to know, to believe what they need to believe, to give you their necessary contact information, an email, a phone number, any other biographical information that you need on them. And you can measure that and know that that's successful based on the number of people that actually do that. So now you can experiment and try different things to try to increase the number of people that are actually doing it. And that's why we call it plays. So it's a simple way to organize the different tactics across the journey, and then get clear on what job those tactics have to do, and then be clear on how you measure them so you can decide, is it working or not? And going back to the football analogy, if I run a play over the course of a season, and I run that play 50 times, and it only averages 1 yard per play, and I've got a different play that's averaging 12 yards per play, well, it's pretty clear which one I should spend more time using, and which one I probably should throw out of the playbook altogether. And if that play is really important, I can go back and analyze, well, why was it so ineffective, and what do I need to change? And in the context of business, there's only one of two things that you need to change. Remember, journey and experience is only two things. It's message and mechanics. So if something's not working as well as I want it to, I can look and analyze, do I think the problem is in the messaging, the words and the video and the content of what my leads, prospects, and customers are reading, seeing, and consuming? Or do I think the problem is actually in the mechanics, the sort of steps that people are going through tactically to get where I want them to go? And that is how you get really clear on, how do I go improve this? And if you optimize things and it's still not producing the results that are acceptable, well, then you throw the whole play out and you try something different. And it's with that clarity that you modify and strengthen your playbook so that it becomes optimal for how you grow your business. So it's a little bit about how we think about the playbook and the plays, and then the individual diagrams inside of those plays about how someone is going to move from the beginning of that stage to the end of that stage in order to get to the next step of their journey. So hopefully that's helpful and gives you some clarity and some confidence, whether you're a sports person or not, around why we think about the lifecycle marketing framework in the context of a playbook.